Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you find yourself in this world of ours. Once again, we come back to Dragon Age Rise of the Kunari. Rings and Lyrium. Our session begins facing a door to Serena's office, if you will. And we see a shadow of a dwarf approach the door.
Knock, knock, knock. Fuck, where's a piece of wood I can knock on?
Serena will go and open the door. We'll look around, then we'll look down, see Porthos. Oh, hey Porthos.
I don't know
What's up?
why, but that felt incredibly rude. Anyway, I have procured a few
Are you
rings.
coming in?
We could. Okay, why not? He goes in.
Serena will sit on the table and make a point to pour some mead on a glass for her.
I'm just gonna stare at her. You know, I went here to give you something, but since you are.
Did you
I'm
ask me
starting to
for.
have second thoughts. Should I. Maybe I should just leave. Uh,
Please do tell.
Look, since we have renovated the secret port, the air quote, um, we have acquired some lovely rings from it, and one of them it made me think of you, because you are, after all, the angel of death.
Porthos?
What?
I.
That's what they call you.
They? Who is they?
Uh, Everyone.
Oh, God.
Look,
Okay.
since you are the angel of death, he pulls out a ring. I've
I guess
I
since it's out, I might as well take advantage of the title, I suppose.
I have acquired this from a friend, and I want you to have it. It is
Serena will
a
look at
ring.
Porthos suspiciously. What does it do?
Well, as the angel of death, you are required to get into places and be technically semi-invisible. Therefore, it is a ring of blink. Lets you go through walls. It lets you become ethereal. Uh, Basically, what a
Okay, she will
angel of
pretty
death
much
would require.
freeze, jaw dropped, and like, okay. So
But
what do you want for it?
that you stop being a bitch just for a few days.
In general or to you?
He's gonna pull out a coin and he's gonna flip it. Uh, Fuck. Let me actually roll. One is heads, the other is tails. If it
Yeah,
lands
but
on
what?
heads, only him, and if it's on tails, everyone. Uh,
Motherfucker.
Odds is head, tails is even.
okay.
Heads.
Okay, so since it's heads, only me.
For how many days?
A month.
Will you shave off a couple of weeks or three if I give you some mead?
You
Ooh.
see him like thinking about it really, really hard. A very tempting offer, but I think I would rather you be a very pleasant person for a bit, Miss Angel of Death.
Nobody will buy that.
By what?
Me being a very nice person.
Who cares? As long as it's to me, then I don't give a shit.
Does it have to be in public? After all, I have a image to uphold now that someone has given me a certain moniker.
Why do you care what everyone thinks?
Well, there is a reputation there to keep. Don't you care?
I don't. You can see
But
everyone ridiculing me, but I don't care. And for all they know, I could kill them if I wanted to, but I don't, because I don't care. It's more simple that way.
1 month. Can't you do any better offer than that?
Ah, what about
One
this?
month is a long time. Like, I could die tomorrow.
What about this? Uh, 3 weeks, and you give me 2 weeks worth of your weekly gold thing. So 50 or so 150 gold, and put it in the port that we are trying to make better.
Tell you what, I'll give you 1,000 gold, and I won't have to be nice to you for more than 3 days.
Ooh,
3 days, 1,000 gold.
Porthos, that's
Ah,
going to get you something with the port if she does that.
you know what? Sure. He is gonna shake you on it. Give the
Okay,
gold to the port. I do not care
I
for
give a
sex wealth.
1,000 gold to Porthos.
What the fuck is bark skin? Oh wait, oh, damn, neat. I don't really care for money, but I will put it to the port. I know it's quite ironic because I think the first time we met, I told you I needed money for reasons.
Yeah, it's very strange. The most
Yeah,
selfless pirate. You're getting something out of it, don't you?
who said anything about being selfless? I am doing it for me.
Oh yeah, I guess you love ports. That's what pirates do. Oh wait, they're supposed to love the sea, not the ports.
There are something to be gained from ports. You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Hmm.
Can we add an extra bit of caveat to that deal? Can I have one flagon of that meat that you poured right there, and we'll remove a day out of that kindness thing?
Two
So just
days.
two
And you
days?
can have my glass too.
Yes. Deal?
Okay, so I'll be nice to you tomorrow.
Meat.
Hmm.
Can I
Oh,
have my
I just
alcohol now?
yeah, here, take your apple. Hmm.
Oh, thank
I'll
fuck.
be away tomorrow on a mission.
That doesn't count. That does not
Yes,
count.
it does.
No, it doesn't,
It's one
because you are
day.
not here. You are not here. I have to be in the vicinity of you for it to count.
Fine, join the mission.
And what is in this mission?
Danger, probably. Ah, most likely.
Is that the best description you can give?
Uh, that's all I have, man. It's just a watchtower that was manned, and we haven't heard from them in a while. We'll have to go and
Eh,
investigate.
why not?
That's as much as I can tell you, anyway.
Why not? Well, shall we shake
Mm,
on it?
sure.
As you guys
Yes.
are shaking, he's fucking drinking that mug of ale. Ooh.
Don't drink it all at once.
Oh yes, I have to savor it because you'll stab me if I drink it otherwise without the
Not
deal.
for not for another day.
Yes, yes. Ooh, here you go. Do not, please don't get it corroded with blood.
I know how to take care of my equipment.
And, don't tell anyone I gave you that ring or that I gave you anything. I'll just,
Yeah, I think it's best
yes,
kept between us two.
yes. Nothing happened here. Not at all. He's just
Yeah.
gonna drink the whole mug now and just back away and leave. I was never here. And he is gone now.
Later, Porthos.
Goodbye, Angel of Death. And with that, Porthos is leaving. For real. Goodbye, people.
Fuck.
Please don't kill people right now. Just be nice.
Why would I kill people right now? I don't have anyone to kill right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, all those
Uh-huh.
stereotypes.
Yes.
God.
Yep. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Bye.
Brandon. Thank you for DMing.
Bye,
No
boy.
worries. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, God.
And after he gives you this new ring, you attune to it and you practice with it a bit. I'll say that the 50 charges won't be expelled for this little practice scene. But you focus your mind and you kind of reach out with the ring. And it's almost like you know how to do it now. And 1 minute, you're in front of your door and you feel yourself shift through and pass through like this inky kind of blackness. And then within a fraction of a second, you are now at the other side of your door, looking toward the wall that is the door is facing.
Cool.
Will take some getting used to. But around this time, Zach stopped by earlier with his little thing, and it's about time for you to go do something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna take he's gonna take all the medicine the kid that's usually has and start moving slowly because it's like contemplating how do I bridge this? How do I bridge this? Out of character, brace yourself, you're gonna hear the backstory.
Excellent.
Yeah. See
So you
we'll
head on.
go.
Yep. I
Yeah.
assume you head on to Colin's office. You knock.
Yeah, I'll knock the door.
Come in.
Serena will go in. Good evening, Commander.
Hello, Serena. And you can see that he seems to be sitting there in almost anticipation. He's already got his sleeve rolled up and everything.
Oh. I guess you're getting used to it.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough, but Zach told me what we're doing, so here we go. And you look at his other arm, and you've noticed that it's the regression has gone all the way down to the wrist now. You can almost barely see any of the.
Okay. Well, I told Zach to reduce the lyrium amounts.
Indeed, and we discovered something today.
Oh. Good or bad?
I suppose good. Although I'll say one thing, they'll never take me at the Chantry again. Not that I'd want to go.
Oh. Um. You're not possessed, are you?
No, it's given me abilities. Now that it's fading, I can feel them a lot easier, and I've been practicing. It seems that I can nullify some magic now. To an extent. Similar to how Lyrium reacts.
Isn't that how what you did before when you were a Templar? Or different?
It is, but it feels more natural now, and I can do more than what I did as a Templar.
Are you sure it's because of this and not because of the treatment? What if it goes away afterwards?
Well, the more we do the treatment, the more easier it is for me to focus and do it.
Well, I suppose it's something that we will see. It's
I suppose.
interesting, though. Kind of ironic, even.
I suppose so. Well, let's not waste any more time. He starts to brace himself a little bit.
Yeah, Serena will take her time because it's like still contemplating. So she'll open slowly the kit, take out the tourniquet, like slowly,
Mm.
slowly apply it.
You-
As he'll probably notice that he's like being a bit
Yep.
lost in thought and a bit sad even.
He kind of looks down and after a moment, he says, "What's wrong?"
Well, hmm. Well, many things are a bit weird at the moment. Um, and while talking, she will kind of start moving the syringe in place and like, yeah, take a deep breath. Stick him. Well, thing is, what was it? A couple of days ago? Yeah. Hmm. I came really close to clogging out, I suppose.
It tends to happen in our line of work,
Yeah.
but it's we're here and we're still
Yeah.
alive. That's what counts.
Yeah. Anyway, you asked me the other day, you asked to know more about me. And to be
Yes.
honest with you, I'm kind of dreading it.
You don't have to tell me anything you don't want to.
Well, the thing is, truth tends to always come out, and as it is, I'd rather you hear it from me than anyone else.
All right.
But I have to ask you first. What do you think has brought me here? What do you think it is that I do?
Well, you are a Grey Warden, and you do have duties that they also have to perform. But you also work with Liala, and she can occasionally do things that are eh, not necessarily in everyone's good graces, but she's good, and I trust her, and I've known her for a long time. So if she trusts you and her employ, then that is good enough for me. But as for what you did previously, I did a little bit of asking around, if you don't mind. Mostly because I had to look up everyone's reports of history, so to speak, before I gave the approval to inquire people into the Inquisition and recruit them. I wasn't going behind your back or anything.
And what is it that you found?
Well, it seems, Miss Serena Strickland, that every time you are somewhere, certain people tend to disappear or die.
Well, it's a lot more complicated than that, actually.
Tell me. I'm all ears if
But
you wish.
I won't deny that. Like, where should I start? Probably I should start from the very beginning. Um, you might not know, but I'm actually a bastard. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
mean, okay, yeah, I might not be the nicest person around, but I mean, in the literal sense.
I
Uh,
understand.
Literally, the only thing that my father ever gave me was his name. And I'm not quite sure if he actually gave it to me. I just use it to spite him, I suppose, if he's still alive somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He was never married to my mother. He couldn't have anyway, because he had a wife, and I don't think she would have agreed to that.
I see. Was
In
it
any case, yeah, I've seen my father less than 20 times in my whole life, and the last time I did see him, I was about 6. He moved away from Lyrium, although at the time I didn't know that. And I was left with my mother, who, well, she gave me what she could, I suppose, but she didn't get to live too long.
What happened?
Well, living in the alien edge isn't very glamorous. She got sick, she died. That's about it. And I was 8 years old, and I was left with nothing in the streets of Denrim. Tried
Colin
to look,
looks when you talk about her getting sick. Colin looks very pained.
tried to look for my father, who I knew his name and knew he was some merchant, but I was told that he had left Denerim over a year ago. So then I had a very important choice to make, I suppose, even at that young age, and that was to either starve or to steal. And I chose the latter. There were people in Denerim that could arrange for, well, not just me, there were other street urchins, I suppose, doing these things. For a cut, of course, but at least we did have things to do. I learned how to be almost invisible within the urban environment. I learned how to be light at my feet and at my hands mostly. Learned how to defend myself. I suppose things were going smooth for a few years, but then I was growing up and I could no longer fit in places where a small child could fit. And I was, well, I had the body of a woman then, and they figured I was better suited for other services. So again, I had to choose, and I had to choose whether to sell my body or my blade. Again, I chose the latter.
He nods slowly.
And I was pretty good at it too. Never asked questions, didn't need to. I just need to know who, where, how much. It might sound a bit cruel or cynical, but
We've all done things that people would consider cruel and cynical, but sometimes when I look at the things that I have done, the things that we have done, even as an Inquisition as a whole, in desperation, can you really say someone is evil or off, so to speak?
well, at first,
Desperation makes us do crazy things.
well, at first it might have been desperation. After that, it was pretty much what I'm good at, and I left it at that. I was that good, in fact, that I was even approached by the crows.
Interesting.
Yeah. The problem is that I decided that the best idea was to reject them, which they didn't take kindly.
I see.
So they set me up, and I was caught for the first time. And there goes my last important choice, I suppose, which was I either choose the noose or the Grey Wardens. So thinking, well, certain death to a 50-50 and a really slow death, well, might as well get the slow death. And so that's how I became one of them. And finally, I found a place to call a family. Weird as it sounds.
He says, I know what you mean. And what do you consider here?
Well, for better or for worse, the Grey Wardens aren't what they were after the whole deal with Corypheus a few years back. I'm sure you remember you were in the middle of it.
Oh, I remember that. And he kind of gets his eyes kind of go wide a little bit, and then he's like, "Yeah, I remember that."
Yeah, I remember that too. Not fondly.
You
This
did
is,
well, though.
well, I'm here now, I suppose. And probably have quite a lot to atone for.
I would say that you have definitely started to atone.
Well, yeah, don't let it go out, because, I guess now I have a reputation to keep.
He puts his hand on yours.
I'll try to play it cool.
He says, "You're more than welcome here. We're not going to look at you for that past discretion. We all have done things that maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't have. But there's no one to give us judgment unless the Maker or, well, even these old gods. Only they can truly judge."
Well, I'm not much of a believer in any of them, honestly, but it's more of a, I guess, a personal issue. I have to be able to accept myself for everything before I before I assume that anyone else wants to accept it. The thing is, things are getting complicated again.
How so?
When I became a Grey Warden, I made peace with some things, including the, Grey Warden's inevitable fate.
But that's been cured from what I hear.
Yes, but even so, I have not brought myself to take that leap. Maybe deep down I just don't believe that it can be cured. What if it's just some false hope again?
It can't hurt.
You can roll for sense motive because he's hiding a part of what he's thinking.
All right, I'll look up Colin's sense of motive here. Surprisingly good.
And what do I roll?
Bluff.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, I guess I have a chance. What's my bluff again? Bluff. Yeah, not even close.
He looks at you. He says, "Serena,
Mm-hmm.
you can be honest with me. I'm not going to go around and tell everyone, oh, look at this."
It's not about that. It's a quite personal thing. Like for most of my life, I didn't have much to live for. When I became a Grey Warden, it was even less. Mm, it just feels strange having to go back on my word pretty much and my vow.
I know a little something about that.
Well, it's not the same. Templars, yeah, they pledge their life, yes, but it's not like certain death. Like you could die of old age in your bed with your family. For us, it has been one path and one path alone, and I was okay with it. And now I just find myself questioning everything.
Did Yvonne give you the supposed cure?
He did, yes.
And you haven't drunk it yet.
No, I haven't. I'm not sure if I will.
I think you should. I think that making this decision and getting it off your shoulders, regardless of whether it is just a fading hope or a reality, will help you focus.
It will require a lot of thought.
He nods.
You're probably, I guess, have similar choices to make in regards to your previous status. Didn't you feel conflicted about it?
I did. But
So what
I had those around me to aid me.
and what made you go through with it? I mean, apart from other people, what inside you? I mean,
He looks at you for a long moment. He says, I wanted to be in control of myself. I wanted to make the decisions. And for bad or good, they would be my decisions. Would not be influenced by people hovering over me. They would not be influenced by an addiction. They would not be influenced by magic. I would make my own decisions. And I would be helpful to my friends and family and not a burden. That is what I wanted.
oh, Serena will smile and says, hmm, "That is actually very helpful.
Glad I could be of service.
It's it almost feels a bit, should I say, unreal, being able to make all the decisions. Like, I suppose the illusion of choice was always there, but not really.
We always have a choice. Sometimes there's always another option there hidden that we don't see. You know, the Inquisitor told me that every decision everyone sees two paths, one this way, one that. But he says that there's always a third path that you don't quite see. I always wonder about that. To this day, I still wonder about that, but I think he's right.
Perhaps, but does it matter? Sometimes
No?
there are more than two options, sometimes there are more than three. That doesn't mean that they're good options.
No. That is true. But I guess the lesson is you never know that there might be something there that you didn't see that may not be such a bad option. We just don't know.
Well, I wish I could see, honestly. I wish I could really believe that, yeah, this is a cure, and no, it's not a betrayal to whatever vows I've taken. But
Tell me, when you made your vow, you said that you would uphold your duties to the death.
yes,
You never said that you had to die in early age. You never said you had to cut your life short. You said you were willing and would do so if need be. But in the end, during this problem, your duties are still the same. The only thing that will be changing is you will now have an edge and a worry that will be lifted off your shoulders.
I would still like to end my days in the dark roads.
He nods a bit. He says, well, we do have some expeditions planned there, so I'd love it if you tagged along.
Well, at least I can catch the blight.
He rests his forehead on yours.
Okay, I have to think of a reaction to that. She'll probably close her eyes and just sigh, like a sigh of relief, almost. Like she's feeling kind of a lot more comfortable than when she came into the room.
He'll just stand there or sit there very quietly. And I gotta roll something here.
Oh fuck.
Odds are even. Odds are even.
For what?
Just odds are even. Odd or even number.
Odds?
He's very close to you right now. Like his face is like, your foreheads are touching, and now he's looking at you very, very closely. And he brings up his hand and he slowly starts to just kind of, hold you. Like it's not a, you know, direct action, but it's a very gentle action.
I guess she'll open her eyes.
Feel better?
A lot, thank you.
He kisses you on the forehead. Thank you for helping me with this. All of it.
What would I be if I didn't? Actually, yeah, don't ask her that.
He chuckles a bit. He gives you another little nudge with his forehead.
So I'm assuming you're feeling better.
Yeah, very. He looks down at his right hand and he brings your left over to his right, and you can see that the red is all but gone. And as
Well,
as he puts your left hand in his, he slowly squeezes
I'm
gently.
gonna kind of examine his hand, pretend I'm examining his hands, but actually find an excuse to touch him more.
Mhm. You feel along the surface, and it's not rough like it was. His skin is pretty normal, and the glow is all but gone, and uh, pulse is normal. If anything, it's actually fairly smooth. I mean, his hands are rough and have been calloused from years of fighting, but it's all but gone.
I assume in a few days you'll be back
Good,
in your old self.
good as new. He says, "Hey, would you like to get a drink sometime?"
Well, if it's that um, nice wine you have, anytime.
Would you like to share one with me now?
Yes, I would.
Pours you a glass. It's very good.
It is very good. Mm.
You're now sitting at his little side table as the moon is full tonight, and it shines out over the fields and creates almost a silver mist atop the grass. And you both look out, and it's a very beautiful sight.
Well, I think I'll go at the window and flaunt the goods a bit.
Oh, you're okay. So you're gonna go and tell me what you're doing.
Well, describe the window.
It's like a port. It's like a hole. There's actually no technical window there, but it's like this. It looks like it does in Skyhold, where like there's this little hole.
Huh, then I'll accidentally bend over to look out of the window. Sadly. Because sadly is very important here.
Okay, he roll me a perception.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
noticed, and he is clearly looking, and he didn't quite pull his eyes away before you looked. He's like, careful, you don't want to fall.
Don't worry. I know how to land properly.
Roll me a reflex saving throw, please.
Come on, you're not gonna throw me out of the window.
Just do it.
God damn. Oh, shit. Where is this? Oh, don't. Do I get any bonus for? No, I don't. There's no traps around. Fuck, that's a trap. That's a shitty roll.
So You almost actually do slip and fall, but you're able to catch yourself, and he actually came to catch you as well. And as you're both against the, as you kind of get propped up, you wind up in one of those very awkward positions where now you're against the wall, he's against you, like because he was going to catch you, and the moonlight is now kind of almost making you both glimmer.
Like Twilight vampires.
No, not like not sparkle, just glimmer. Like it's when a person walks out in the moon, you know how like if it's real bright, it'll look kind of like that with that white faded kind of look.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to roll something here, which I'm gonna roll off screen. Ooh. So he's sitting there, he's standing there looking at you now, and you're being held. And he goes to kiss you.
I'm not gonna contest it.
You don't resist.
Why would I?
And you both kiss under a very star-filled night and a bright moon. You both have been drinking the wine and tastes very sweet. And I'll go ahead and have the scene fade to black.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave.
You're gonna leave?
He's still. Yes. Oh
Right.
yes.
So after the kiss, you're
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna
we're gonna
immediately
have to
just
have some awkwardness here, of course. Because come on,
okay.
I'm not Peter. I'm gonna play around.
All right. So you after the how long do you want to hold that?
I don't know, a couple of minutes.
Okay. And when you break apart, what do you do?
I breathe.
He says,
And I'm like, I have to think of excuses to come
yeah,
here, I suppose, after the treatment's done.
yeah, I sorry, that was a little bit impulsive of me.
No, no, that's fine. That, yeah,
Okay,
fine.
okay,
More than fine, actually.
yeah, do you, yeah, oh, by the way, tomorrow we, you're coming with, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, I'll see you then, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll see you then. Have a good night. And she'll, like, awkwardly get the med kit and kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, here, let me help you with that. He kind of helps you clean everything up.
You remember, I told you before that I can't promise not to ever sneak up on you?
Yeah,
Well, I may do that when you get better. And just leave it at that and go towards the door.
as you're walking toward the door, he slams his fist against the door so it closes again. Looks at you. Is that a promise?
Well, yes. If you agree to that, yes.
He's like red right now, and he blinks for a moment, and then he winks at you, and then takes his hand off the door.
Good night, Colin.
Good night, Serena.
And so get out the door and go take a cold bath.
Take a cold bath.
Yeah, very cold.
Jacqueline's just there like, what are you doing? This is my hour. I use the
Well,
bath at this time.
well, hey, don't I have a bathtub in my
Yeah,
room?
you do.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, you
I
can go
just
take
don't.
a
I
cold
just
bath.
don't. I just don't need to warm it up. I'll just put ice cubes in it.
Yep, your heart is thumping like freaking crazy. And with that, we'll fade to black. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.